Hello, my name is Andrew, Team Triple Drive. Today we're looking at my own personal Bermuda Triangle Harmony G deck. Now before I start, I have to say this deck is not a complete deck and it's missing some cards. And I'll talk about them when I get around to them, and mostly because they got released, although they've already been released in the Lost Files collection, I have not been able to get them due to financial constraints, stuff like that. But anyway, today we'll talk about my own personal G Harmony deck. And as you know, before you ask guys what Harmony is a clan skill which has been introduced in all the new clan sticks, for example Royal Paladin Brave, Kagero Blaze, Dark Regulars of Darkness, all that sort of stuff. It allows you to activate certain skills or certain conditions, or to put your cards in certain states, as I said, to activate skills. And one card with such, for example, skill is my starter, which is First Lesson Akari. First Lesson Akari is obviously starter, and its skill is when it's at Generation Break 1. If it is in Harmony, you can put it into the soul, choose a card from the field, put it back into your hand, and draw a card. This is absolutely excellent because this allows you to draw extra cards on top of your stride. You will bounce this card in your hand anyway, call it back out, call another unit, bounce. To use this skill to bounce two cards back in your hand, bounce a card back in your hand, and draw another card. It's very excellent and it fuels up the soul for other purposes. Now for my trigger lineup, I run 8 crit. Here's 4 here, and here's the other 4. I run the 4 of the generic critical trigger because, well, there's no other special crit trigger I'll put in the deck right now, because it only is a pure G Harmony build. This crit trigger is called Cherish Phrase Rainer, and what this does is it is actually a special crit designed specifically for the Generation Break Lauris Vanguard. What it does is if you have a Vanguard Lauris in its name, it goes into the soul from the field, from a Vanguard circle. You can draw a card and your Vanguard gains 5,000 power. This is excellent because it gives the deck the boost that it really needs to fight against certain cards and the extra draw power. For the rest of my trigger lineup, I run obviously 4 common heals, but I also run 4 Dreaming Dreamer Crook, the stand trigger. Obviously the heals all know what they do, they heal. But the 4 Dreaming Dreamer Crook, what this does is at Generation Break 1, if it is in Harmony and you have and it has boost to the card, you can put it back into the deck, shuffle it, you choose a card, bounce back to hand, and call out another card from your hand. This is very good because this allows you to get another attack essentially. This is a key component and allows you to do rush tactics, which I think is absolutely amazing. It doesn't even have to hit for it to work. Now for my grade 1s, I run 3 Magical Yell Nina. Now 3 Magical Yell Nina is a 5k, which is Soul Blast 2 and Counter Charge 2. I run this in the deck instead of the duo, the Lovely Angel Crew I think it is, the other 5k Soul Blast 2 Counter Charge 2, mainly because I prefer to keep the duos and the Bermuda Triangle separate. I don't actually own a duo deck, but I'd rather have them as their own thing, which is why I run 3 of this card. It's alright, you only really need 1 in hand to actually get any combos working, because you keep bouncing back to hand to keep using this effect. But 3 is there just in case, damage zone, so you see it better. My other grade 1s I run is 4 Superb New Student Shizuku. This is a double rare card, and what it does is once per turn, when it's placed at Generation Break 1, when this card is in Harmony, you can check top 5 cards for grade 3 and add it to hand. This is a remix, a grade 1 variant of the grade 3 searcher that was also called Shizuku, which I don't actually currently own. And it's very good for thinning out your deck of grade 3s in order to get your trios in late game and make you more likely to draw the grade 2s and the other cards you want as well. So it's very excellent for that. I think it's absolutely, at the moment, staple for the Bermuda Harmony deck, but we have to wait until the support comes out to actually decide if it'll stay in or not. After that, I also run 3 Talent of Preservance Shandi. This is the Stride Enabler, and that's what it is. That's what I use it for. It's there, the Stride Enabler. If I haven't got any grade 3s at hand, which is a very unlikely occurrence due to the fact I have Shizuku in the deck, I use these emergencies, and well, also 5k guard. You can't really go wrong with that. I run 3 because in all my Stride decks I always run 3 of the Stride Enabler. I don't run any more, don't run any less. And finally, I run Image Master Kakuri at 4. This is the G Perfect guard, which allows you to, when you perfect guard with it, if you already have one in the drop zone, you can counter charge one. This helps a lot in this deck because this deck is very, very counterblast heavy. If you don't check what you're doing, you can use a lot of counterblast, and this deck definitely helps. Although with the grade 1 Nina, you won't be using it as much for the unflip ability, but it's very nice for it in the deck just in case things go wrong. And now for my grade 2 lineup, I run 3 Admired Sparkle Spicer. This is the on boost counterblast 1. This is on boost counterblast 1 generation break 1. Choose a card from your field, return it to your hand, choose a card from your hand, place it on the field against 3000 power. I have barely used this card in my deck because it is counterblast heavy and can lead to using a large number of counterblasts in a single turn. So I tend to avoid this when I can, but as an emergency, I will use it, and usually, most of the time, it's my grade 2 that I put down because I don't need it later on, and it allows me to open up the field while I leave other things. Well, that's a very good card. Also, for some of my other grade 2s, I also run 4 Ideal Walking Weather Emilia. Now, for those who don't know what this card is, this is a triple rare card which has got 2 skills. One is when it's generation break 1, when it's put back into hand from the rear guard circle, you can counterblast 1 and draw a card. This is one of the reasons why I use a lot of counterblast, because if you're not careful with this card, you will run out all your counterblasts because you bounce this card all the time. It also has resist as well, which means that it cannot be affected by any effects. So it can't be locked, can't be retired. It can be locked or retired, but it can't be chosen to do so in a sense. So you can't choose it to lock it, you can't choose it to retire it, which is a massive advantage in the way this card game works. And if it's on its own, your opponent can't do anything against it. And finally, for my grade 2 lineup, I run 4 Unbeliever Girl Potpourri. Oh god, it's a mouthful. What this is a harmony on hit variation of Spicer. This is if this column's in harmony and the attack hits, you choose one of your rear guards, bounce it back to hands, well, return it back to hand, choose a copy of your hand, call it out on the field. It doesn't give any extra power, but it's a free restand. But effectively, it's a free restand for attack. I use this far more often than I use Spicer because, well, it puts pressure on the opponent, makes the opponent guard against it. If they don't guard against it, they've got another attack to deal with. That's why I like this card. That's my grade 2s. Now for my grade 3s, I run the key card, the grade 3 boss card, which is 4 Miracle Voice Lauris. Miracle Voice Lauris has 2 skills. It has an on-stride skill and a generation break 2 skill. It also has harmony. The on-stride skill is you counterblast 1, choose a card from the field, put it back into your hand, and draw a card. This gives you massive hand advantages and sets up for all your combos you need to do during the turn. That's why I like it. The generation break 2 skill is when a card is placed, when this card is in harmony, which has harmony skills, it can be in harmony. You choose 2 of your units. They gain 5000 power, and the Vanguard itself gains an extra critical. This is good late game pressure as our point your opponent's on 4 or 5 damage and they need to survive against it. That's if you get that far, because you see if you support the cards you'll see why. And the best backup I run for that is Sincere Girl Liddy. Now Sincere Girl Liddy is the best grade 3 backup for this card because it has 2 skills. One's a generation break 1 skill, which is it gains 5000 for every single card in harmony. So if all your columns are in harmony, the Vanguard's attacking for at least 41k on its own, which is absolutely incredible. I think this card is absolutely great backup, but that's not the reason why I run it. The reason why I run it is the second skill, which is Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. When it's placed on Vanguard Circle, you check the top 5 cards for a card with harmony in its skill text and add it to hand. This allows me, if I haven't got the right grade 3 in my hand, to search for that grade 3 in order to use it next turn. Or if I don't, I can choose any other harmony card in the deck, add it to hand, from the deck, add it to hand, and that could be useful for my next turn as well. This is absolutely fantastic of a card, and to be honest, I find any cards with skills similar to this, and if the Vanguard has the clan skill as well, absolutely necessary to use. I see no reason in other decks and other cards unless the other card is absolutely worth it. Now that's my main deck done, so I'll look into my stride zone. The stride zone, firstly I run 2 Fluffy Ribbon Somni. Now what this does is when the attack hits, you can choose a unit, bounce it back into your hand from the field. You call out another unit and that unit gains 3k. I use this in my deck because, well, at the time it was a good start. It's not that great, but it is good. And, Bushville just revealed another card which was a Bermuda Triangle, which does a similar thing but gains more power, which is of course superseding this one. At the moment this is a good card to use as first stride, as it allows you to set up for, well, your next stride obviously, or your main stride, which you'll see later on in the video. But that's not a bad card. It is interesting to play with. And for my other two strides, I also run Legend of the Glass Shoe Amori. For those who, well, obviously you know what this is. This is a card from the original G5's collection that got released, Files Collection 2015, I think it was. And this is in the deck because, well, it fills up space. It was kind of useful earlier, but then card for future collection, Files Collection, which you'll see next, has superseded it and it's just there to fill up space until new cards get revealed to replace it. But other than that, it's not that bad. I mean, what you do is you call in a Vanguard circle, choose 2 units, put it back into your hand, which means it allows you to set up for future combos. But I said there's a better card for it, and that better card is Lucky Prize Elprina. Lucky Prize Elprina is actually a new card that was released in the last Fighters collection. What Lucky Prize Elprina does is you Soul Blast one splitter, it's 1 splitter, 1 splitter, and you Soul Blast one, choose 2 units and put them back to hand. The reason this is better to use is because it's an act, so you can use it whenever you need to, which is far better than the auto skill that was Amori. My personal downside is to this card is I usually don't have enough soul to use it because I'm using it to unflip damage constantly. But that's how you play it. That's how I play. I'll be honest with you, I'm not that good with the deck. And then for the main boss stride, I run 3. Yes, I run 3 School of Olyvia G-Rare, and I run 1 School of Olyvia SP. Although I do own a playset of School of Olyvia G-Rare. Now, what this card does is absolutely amazing. This is the absolute core that holds the Bermuda Triangle stride deck together. In terms of strides anyway, what it does is you counterblast 1. When this unit attacks, you choose any number of units with different names and put them back into your hand. And if you put in 3 or more, you can call 2 out and one on the front row, 1 the back row. So, in order to gain extra attack, what this does is bounce units back to hand, calls out extra units. You can gain more cards this way if you activate certain skills. This card does absolutely everything you ever needed to do. And funny story is, I actually got this deck trading back in the Dotex when it was actually amazing back in the day, and great nature for this deck, which came with this SP Olyvia. As you know, this has become a clan local's favourite card because of, well, it's got legs and it's so pretty. But anyway, let's stop gushing over that and I'll move on to my G Guardians. And I run as G Guardians for the moment 3 Sailors Medley Nasha. 3 Sailors Medley Nasha is a 15k G Guardian, as all G Guardians are, and its skill is, if it's based on Vanguard, if you're guarding with this card, you reveal a card which is the same grade as one of your cards on your field and it gains additional 5k. This is, I think, the second easiest G Guardian to pull off. There's only one prize in that, which I will show to you in another video that I do, and it's actually not bad. It's just pretty much almost guaranteed 20k. Might not be guaranteed 20k alright straight away, but at the time you can use G Guardians, you're going to have the hand to show it. So pretty much guaranteed 20k. God. Now the cards I'm missing is one definitely from the new Fighters Collection 2016, and one from Fighters Collection 2016, which will be replaced soon anyway. And those 2 cards are Sabreeze, Elemental Sabreeze, and Metal Element Skyroo. Keep calling it Screw. But Elemental Sabreeze is a strike card, which is the skill of Counterblast 2, discard a card. If your opponent has not rode in the ride phase and you've and you rolled into grade 3, and you're on grade 3, you pay the cost. If you do, stride into that card. This allows activate all the Gen Break 1 skills, which allows Bermuda Triangles to start his Mega Rush turn. It's amazing, making your opponent, well, cry in despair if they're trying to play the grade 2 game. You only need one each deck because it's an emergency card, and to be honest, it will be a dead card if you don't use it. But well, that's how that works. Also, I'm missing 2 Metal Element Scryu, which is a G Guardian 15k, which means if you use the guard, you'll discard a card, and it gains an additional 10k. These are, at the moment, staple in every G deck. I said I'm waiting until the new Bermuda Triangle G Guardian to come out before I decide whether to get that card or not. I most likely won't. But I said, as the Bermuda Triangle Clan Boosters coming out in July, I might just wait to see what they have before I do anything else about it. They're the cards I'm missing at the moment. And well, that's it really. So as you know, both decks now are turning into either A, some form of sub-Aqua Force deck, or B, some form of sub-Sanctuary Guard deck. So you're either looking at rush attacks or massive column attacks. This deck doesn't get the massive column attack, but what this can do is a form of rush. Now, to activate this rush combo, first of all, you need to be in Generation Break 1, which you can't see in here, but you can see now you have to be Generation Break 1. You have to have at least 2 damage. Your foil looks like this, so you got, for example, your front row is going to be Lauris, grade 3, which is a better option. You can use grade 2, but grade 3 is better. And you have a column, which is Potpuri and Shizuku. It doesn't matter what the grade 3 is, but as long as it has Harmony, it'll be fine. So you start your turn, so you start your units, obviously your card. And at this point your hand's going to look something like that. As long as you have these 2 cards in your hand, it doesn't matter, just these other cards would be nice. And so you'll stride into your School Étoile Olyvia. Obviously you will activate the skill of Lauris, which will be kind of the last one, to bounce this unit back to hand and draw a card. And then what you do there is you can choose a card from hand. You will place it down as in the same column. Choose a grade 2, play that column. This column now becomes Harmony. So activate the skill. So look at the top 5 cards of the deck, because that's what the skill does. And unfortunately I didn't get anything. So well, that's something. And of course you shove it back in your deck, but in this case purposes I'll just stick it bottom of the deck for now. So of course this column's down Harmony. And then what you do is you call your special stand trigger here, which will make this column in Harmony, because now they're both columns are now in Harmony. So what you do to attack, and then of course you call this here because it'll be nice. So what I'll do first is you'll attack with this column, because this column's a weak column. You'll attack for 15 to the Vanguard, and if they no guard, perfect. If they guard, well, it doesn't matter. Either way, this card is bouncing back into your deck. You shuffle it back into your deck, which I won't in this case purposes, and this card will bounce back to hand, and you call out the same card again in grade 3 here. So you got, that's your first attack. Then you have your second attack, which is just 11 to the Vanguard. Then you have a third attack, which is 16 to the Vanguard, and this is the attack that they'll most likely try to guard. If they don't guard this, the Potpuri's skill works, which allows to bounce a card back to hand, and allows you to call a card. So in this case, you'll call out a lady again. This will allow you to attack again for this card for 11,000. If they don't get any challenge triggers at any point, you can attack the Vanguard. If they did, you just attack the rear cards wiped out. Then you attack with the central column Olyvia. Of course, you'll attack with this on its own. You'll activate the skill, which is Blast 1, turn a copy of itself face up. And you choose up to, well, you choose up to as many cards you want at the back of your hand. So there's different names, so you bounce grade 3, grade 2 and grade 1. Then bounce back into your hand. And because of that, you could choose, well, 2 cards again. So you call out this card and this card. This card is out Harmony, so her skill activates again. You can check the top 5. And as you found out, you can add a grade 3 back to hand and you shuffle the deck. Put the bottom in this case. And of course, the skill works. This goes in the soul and you draw a card. As you can tell, I haven't actually shuffled the deck. And you point. So of course, you're in that position, so you attack with your Vanguard. for 26,000, and because you bounce 3 back in the field and go back out, it also gains skill. It also gains crit as well. Don't know why I forgot to mention that last time. But gains critical, you attack with the Vanguard, and you do triple drive, so let's say your triple drive was absolutely terrible. So that. So of course, you're attacking. Of course that didn't work, so that's your 4th attack, don't forget. Your 5th attack, sorry. That's your 5th attack, attacking the Vanguard. So 6th attack will be from this column here. Attack the Vanguard for 16 yet again. If this column hits, you can bounce this card at the back to your hand, and then call out a grade 3 here, which allows you to 11k attacker to attack your Vanguard or Rearguard. So in the end, that attack, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attacks in one turn. Which I think is quite which is absolutely amazing considering this is a stride turn, and because the way you could run playsets of each, you could actually run Olyvia a second time round. And that is my own personal Bermuda Triangle deck. Tell us what you think. Comment, subscribe, comment on what you like about it, comment what you don't like about it, and comment for any improvements you might put into the deck and what you think of the new feature support coming out for it. This is Andrew Bates from Team Triple Drive, signing out. Have a nice one.